Hello friends, this is Ravi Somani. I am a chartered accountant. So today's video is on a special topic which is year-end compliances in indirect taxes. Now when I say year-end compliances in indirect taxes, I mean special compliances that are required only on a yearly basis under the GST law. Now in this particular video, when I say indirect taxes, we'll be focusing only on the GST Act rules and regulations therein. Now, as far as GST is concerned, you all must be aware that the compliances, although are on a regular basis, when I say compliance, it's monthly compliance, quarterly, half yearly, or yearly. But this video, I am focusing only on those compliances which are required on a yearly basis. For instance, in GST, reconciliations are required to be carried out on a monthly or quarterly basis. Tax needs to be paid on a monthly basis. Returns are required to be filed on a various periodicity. But this video, we are focusing only on those compliances that are specifically required on a yearly basis. I have tried to compile as many compliances that are required as possible so that people can take advantage of this and make sure that they are making these compliances or carrying out these compliances in their respective entities or for their clients. Now the yearly compliances become all the more important because they comes once in a year. Certain compliances which are regular or periodic, once there is a system or control or SOP, we don't miss out. But yearly compliances, since they come only once in a year, we need to have a system to make sure that these are captured and taken care of. Now let us begin on various compliances that are required on a yearly basis. So first, very important compliance which is required is in the context of e-invoicing. As you all are aware that e-invoice is already implemented for entities with aggregate turnover more than 500 crores from 1st of October 2020, and then 100 crores for entities having aggregate turnover more than 100 crores from 1st of January 2021. Now the same thing is now getting implemented from 1st of April 2021 for those entities whose aggregate turnover is going to be more than 50 crores. Now this has been brought very recently by way of notification number 5/2021, and from 1st of April all these entities needs to generate e-invoice. This becomes very important for an organizations because it is now there is a very short time for this requirement to be carried out. More specifically, if this e-invoice is not being generated, then there is a possibility of department asking the recipient to deny their input tax credit. Hence, this is one major compliance which is required for MSMEs having turnover between 50 crores to 100 crores. Now, when I say turnover between 50 crores to 100 crores, it is very important that even export turnover needs to be counted in this particular context. And very important is that this 50 crores need not be in financial year 2021. It can either be in 17-18, 18-19, 19-20 or 20-20. In any of the years, if you have crossed 50 crores as a turnover, then the compliance is required. Now this other very important e-invoicing requirement that has come is the dynamic QR code. Now this dynamic QR code requirement is there only for B2C business transactions. Now this requirement is again initially it was brought from 1st December. It was supposed to be coming from 1st December 2020. In fact, it is also effective from 1st December 2020. This was brought by way of notification number 14/2020. Later on, they brought another notification which is 89/2020, wherein it has been categorically mentioned that although even by 1st December 2020 deadline, if you are not complying, there will not be any penalty that would be charged under section 125. So that time limit which was given was only up to 31st March 2021. Now, once this time limit is over, so basically from 1st of April 2021, companies whose aggregate turnover is more than 500 crores, in cases of their B2C transactions, they need to also quote a dynamic QR code on their invoices. Now this is very important. Now if this compliance is not carried out, then there is going to be a general penalty which would be of 50,000 rupees under section 125. Now dynamic QR code is something where apart from the QR code which mentions the details of the invoice, there is also a payment mechanism that happens. So one can scan that QR code and directly make the payment. let's say if a supplier already have a mechanism of making the payment through a digital display, in that case, at least the details of the payment made has to be reflected on the invoice as per the recent circular which was issued in this regard. Now, next very important compliance is input tax credit reversal. So as you all know that if any business is having both taxable and also exempted turnover, then they need to reverse input tax credit, something which is directly attributable to exempt supplies and something which is commonly attributable to both taxable and exempt. Now this reversal is ideally required on a monthly basis on a provisional turnover. Now once at the end of the financial year, one needs to calculate the entire turnover of taxable and exempt on a full financial year basis, and this interest is input tax credit is required to be reversed. Now this reversal actually can be done up to September of the next financial year, that is for for financial year 2021, it can be carried out by September 2021, but the interest would be applicable if the reversal is done after 1st of April 2021. Hence, it is suggested that all taxpayers carry out this exercise and calculate their input tax credit reversal on a yearly basis and do the reversal in the April return that is required to be filed. Now this compliance is required for both regular assessees, even for builders in case they get a completion certificate. Now in the year in which they have received the completion certificate, they need to calculate the reversal for the entire project and carry out this reversal. So let us say if you have received a completion certificate for any of your project in the financial year 2021, then this reversal is going to be required if you have availed any common input tax credit. The next very important compliance which is required is in the context of LUT. Now again, as you all know that LUT is required for somebody making zero rated supplies. Now when I say zero rated supplies, it is exports and SEZ. So if you are making a zero rated supplies which is export and SEZ, then you need to obtain LUT from the common portal. It is very simple. You need to simply log into your GST portal by putting your login ID and password, and you can generate an LUT for financial year 21-22. This needs to be done in advance before raising any invoice for exports or SEZ. Very important compliance. If this is not complied, then your refunds can have a problem, and there is also a possibility of government demanding GST even on export transactions. Of course, the legalities are there, which I'm not going into as of now. Now, another very, very important compliance is in the context of HSN codes that are required to be mentioned on the invoice, the digits of HSN code that is required to be mentioned on the invoice. Now, as you all know that originally up to 1.5 crore only 2 digits of HSN code was required. In fact, sorry, it was not at all required. And then 1.5 crore to 5 crores, HSN code was required only at 2-digit level, and more than 5 crores, it was required only at 4-digit level. But now, government is saying that up to 5 crores, if somebody is having a turnover, then they can mention at the most 4-digit level. But beyond 5 crores, if somebody is having a turnover, then they need to mention a 6-digit level HSN code on their invoices, both for goods and also for services. Now, this is very, very important because all the businesses are required to map all their HSN codes and put it properly on their invoice. Let me tell you, HSN code or classification is one of the most complex exercise because there are numerous HSN codes what one has to evaluate. However, since an organization already have HSN code at a 4-digit level, all they need to do is understand the next 2 digits, and from 1st of April, any invoice that is going to be issued, the HSN code on the invoice must be at 6-digit level. So this requires changes and configurations even in your SAP systems or your other accounting systems as well. For B2C transactions, it is very much important that this requirement is not there if the turnover is below 5 crores.